Thank you.
Hi, and welcome to Mark's Motivational Podcast, another Music Sunday episode. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by a great guest and a good friend, Sergio Person. So, we background we met last year at an IMRO songwriting competition or songwriting thing, and it was great to write music with Sergio. So, I'm really looking forward to talking to Sergio today all about his music. So, thanks a lot for joining me, Sergio.
Thank you, Mark. It's great to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
great
So
honor.
we'll probably start off the podcast at the beginning, how you got interested in music and songwriting and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I started I've always been like a musician for more like cover stuff, you know. I always had bands and everything. I never wrote original stuff before until like let's say 3 years ago, maybe, with one exception that I had one song that I started writing when I was a teenager, maybe. I was 16 years old, and I remember I wrote this song, which I finished recently. But apart from that, like I never done, and it's something I always wanted to do, you know. And
Yeah,
and after the pandemic, I joined this band with my friends, Mona, you know, and Brian, Darren, and Mr. John. And we started this band to do covers and originals because they had original stuff written as well. So yeah, so then it was kind of I feel like okay, so if we want to do original stuff, I want to be part of it as well, you know,
yeah,
in a more in and start writing stuff as well, collaborating more, you know, with that.
mm,
And then I started writing my music, and yeah, and then I got into the open mics secrets, you know, like in Dublin, which is really cool. Like we were just talking a few minutes ago about Whelan's open mic
that's really
and
cool. Yeah,
Connect Factor, yeah, for example, and it's amazing, you know. It's great for you to showcase your work, of course, but also to support other songwriters and to make connections, you know, like yeah.
yeah,
And yeah, I really today like I really like it, you know. I do regular gigs with in pubs with cover stuff with kind of, but I today what I like to do more is to play original stuff, you know, like I like both, of course, but original it's really fun, you know. Yeah.
yeah. It's great. And I have to say, fair play to you for setting up the WhatsApp group for different singer songwriters to show all different open mics around Dublin. It's a great idea. So well done on that.
No, thank you. No, thank you, Mark. I think it's important for us to, you know, to get together. I think
Yeah,
together we get stronger. We can get further, you know, and that's the idea. So, and anybody who is into like songwriting and wants to join us in the WhatsApp group can reach out to you or to me, whatever. And
perfect.
yeah, very welcome.
Yeah, thank you. And have you any other new songs out you want to talk about at the moment? New tracks that you've put together, Sergio?
Yeah, well, I just wrote a song last week. I started last Thursday actually, and this is still demo. I mean, I'm still working on it, of course, but it
Yeah.
ended up like being some a very very personal song in the end
Mm.
about anyway a moment. You know, I had some tough years, tough months in last year, etc. And it ended up being a bit about that, you know, I think, and
Mm.
some and about all what's to come, you know. But anyway, and it's interesting. Like this came, the idea came like it happens to me a lot that when I'm waking up or when I'm sleeping, and I sometimes I dream with an entire song, you know. And
Mm.
when I say I dream like it's entire song, I mean as a band with all elements, with lyrics, with production, whatever. And of course, I don't remember when I wake up, but
Yeah.
most of the times I remember the melody, you know, and I try
Mm.
to record that, and then I go back to it later. And this time, I was like in the morning, and I had this idea for a chorus, like for the chorus
Right.
part of the song. And then I went back to it on the Friday, and I started putting some lyrics, and then I created like the verses, and I put a bridge as well. And it's still in progress, but I think it should be. I have a demo already. Maybe I don't know. Maybe tonight I may give it a try in the open mic in Lucan in the Connect Factor. I'm still deciding, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I have like I try to write music as much as I can. Of course, we are always busy with work and many other stuff, family, etc. And we can't always have time. But it's been a while since the last time I wrote a song, so I'm happy to go back to it.
And what do you hope the listeners of this song take away from it, Sergio?
Well, this is actually a characteristic I think I have, and I heard this feedback as well from some friends, and they told me that, which matches what I think, and it's good because I'm happy because what I'm doing it's being perceived by them. So when I write my songs, I try to always keep like sometimes I bring a situation that might not be great or whatever, but I always
Yeah,
always try to bring some positives. Some
yeah,
like the try to focus on the bright side of it and maybe show up like that can be like uh there's a light, in the end of the tunnel, like try to uh, go to see it in a positive way, and that's what I try to do with my song. I think most of them, of course, some songs are completely random and you just do
yeah,
something for fun. I have a song I wrote about. I was trying to buy a house, and situation, it's so difficult, like
yeah.
the mortgage,
That's not easy.
whatever. And I came with an idea. I said, like, you know what, like it's so difficult to buy a house that I would just grab all my savings and buy guitars, and that's it. And that's the idea for the song.
Very good,
So,
yeah.
and then I say like, I can't buy a house, but that's okay. Get my guitar, I found my way, and something like that. So
Mm,
it's just it's more like a random subject for the song, and it's more fun. It is so it's not always like that, but anyway, even in this situation, if you think about, you have a problem, you can't buy a house, you know what? Take the money, buy a guitar, and be happy, have fun. Like it's a way as well. So I try to bring good stuff.
mm.
I think I think when you write a song, like you have a big responsibility, about what you're
Yeah,
talking about. Of course, I'm very small and I have a few listeners, okay. But what if you become big and so whatever you're saying, like it's a big thing, like
big time, yeah.
I see that way. I see that way, I think it's a big responsibility. You need to think very well what you're saying because some people may take that seriously, or
You
not.
know, I
But
like
yeah.
I love your strategy, Sergio. Very good. I love your strategy there. And I
Yeah.
suppose, like, which song, if nobody had heard your music before, what song would you pick, the best one to start for listeners to start listening to? I'm going to ask you to share your music so we can put them on the show notes for people to check out. But like, if you pick one song, what would be the best one to start with for listeners? Sergio, please.
Yeah, that's a good question because sometimes people ask me for a song. I don't have my songs released yet. I mean,
Okay.
they are not publicly released. I have one song actually that is public in SoundCloud. I need to do more because I mean, it's just because I'm in process of recording. I wanted to release the final version. I have them
Yeah.
recorded like as a kind of a demo. It's a good
Mm.
quality demo, some of them, but anyway, I think you probably heard some of them already.
They're really good. Yeah.
Uh,
Really good.
but yeah, so that one that is public, I think it's a good one to start. It's a more happy song. It's like about it's more like it's also a bit random. It's more random, like it's about like a couple, uh, you know, traveling and enjoying the life, and then seeing and that kind of stuff. It's a song called "Together We'll Dance." It
Yeah, it's a great
might
song.
be, yeah, yeah, I think, yeah, you heard that for sure. I think it's a beat, it makes you feel good, I think, and that's a good one. And yeah, so I would go for that. Uh, but yeah, I like many songs, It's not the one I like the most.
Mm.
Uh, I like it a lot, but I mean, for starting, I would go for that one. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you want to share that with me I have it already, but just
I
to
will.
yeah, for SoundCloud, so it's easy for people to find. So that's brilliant. And can I ask you as
Yeah,
well,
I will.
Sergio, have you any kind of gigs yourself coming up that you'd like to say in the podcast for people to, I know you do the Bleeding Horse. Sometimes I had the the
Yeah,
luck of going to see you there. It was really, really good. But do you play there
yeah.
much? Is that like every month or
Yeah, I'm doing well. Okay, so tonight I'm doing the Connect Factor open mic
yeah,
for regional music only, and then tomorrow, no, Wednesday I have no gigs. Thursday I'll be playing with my duo. I have a duo, and we do pubs. Yeah, me and my friend Marco, and we'll be doing this and that in the Temple Bar area. It's
great.
it
Yeah,
maybe this and that or Bleeding Horse. I don't know yet, but I think it should be this and that probably. Then I have Friday. I'll be doing Fitzsimons, 7 p.m. With the duo as well. And then I have another gig Saturday as well in Rush. And we do like most Thursdays in the this and that pub in the Temple Bar area.
yeah.
So if you wanna, it's always this and that always start 10 p.m.
Like, can anybody come into that, or is it yeah, anybody can just walk in
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
great,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
great
yeah,
stuff.
just it's just like a normal pub. It's a pub actually, so it's
Mm,
just like in any pub. You just walk in, and I'll be more than glad to see them. And
great.
please, if you go, reach out to me. Let's have a chat. Yeah.
Brilliant. No, fair play to you, yeah. And so I
Uh,
suppose what's something in your creative process or journey that might surprise people, Sergio? Like is something in your in your journey as a musician.
that might surprise. Well, it's a good question to think about. Well, I started. I don't know if it will surprise, but just to give a bit of background. So I started very very early. I was like maybe seven 7 years old, 8 years old in a choir in Brazil. I'm from Brazil
Yeah.
originally, and yeah, I was invited to this choir. It was like a kind of church choir, but it
Mm,
it was like I consider that as my starting point in music because it gave me like first it was my first contact with uh, making not making music but singing all that stuff. And
yeah.
also we even recorded 2 vinyl records by that time in Brazil. I remember being in a studio as a kid, a professional studio and recording, and it gives me great I think gives me great skills for doing harmonies with the vocals
Yeah.
because this is something that for me is to me is very natural, like as I'm not saying like I'm great, but I tend to use a lot of harmonies in my songs, which is something I like to do, and it's something that for me it's very easy. I can just in real time think about a second, third voice and do it, as long as I know the lyrics. But
Yeah.
anyway, so that's something that I started there, and then from there I studied a bit of organ with my aunt in Brazil as well. She's a great teacher and pianist as well. And then from there, I started studying electric bass. So originally, I am a bass player. I
Mm,
studied like more than 5 years of bass player in a proper school in Brazil as well. And then but I always wanted to play guitar because my first band was with my brother and my cousins. I remember until now, like we were in my grandmother's house, and they're like, "Oh, let's set up a band." Oh yeah, and then they were very quick. I want to be the guitar. I want to be the guitarist. And I was
yeah.
like, okay. I was left with the bass. And then I started, but I said, but I want if I go with the bass, but I will sing. And they said, fine. So I started doing the bass and then singing. but I never wanted to be a singer as well. I like to do the harmonies, the backing vocals. I don't like to do the lead. And then Marco, which is my friend who does the duo with me, who runs the duo, he convinced me to sing because he said I had a good voice, etc. I was like, okay. I started doing it, and I think now I'm getting there.
Yeah, it's
But
brilliant. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
just some curiosities there.
Mm.
Yeah, and I also had in Brazil like I had several bands, and I had like a Creedence Clearwater tribute band,
Oh, cool.
which
Yeah,
was
yeah.
really
Great
cool. Yeah,
band.
and
Yeah.
a more like a rock and soul band as well. Those were my last projects in Brazil before I moved. And it's amazing because I still have contact with them. They are still
Cool.
playing, and they say
Mm.
like I'm always welcome to play with them when I
Brilliant.
go to
Yeah,
Brazil. And every time I go there, we have a gig. I have a gig with some of them or either, and it's amazing. Yeah.
brilliant. So they're your main influences really from growing up, was it? Yeah, yeah,
Well, my influences are everywhere, to be honest. Like from
yeah,
from
yeah.
uh, from Creedence to, for example, there is a band I love called Bell and Sebastian. It's from Scotland. I like them very much, but I have influences from Dream Theater or Porcupine Tree or even some Brazilian artists as well. It's
Cool. Yeah.
yeah, it's a good mix, I would say. It's a good mix. And I try to
Mm.
put my touch as well. I mean, I never write like thinking about what I'm gonna write in terms of style. Like I
Of
never go
course,
like,
yeah,
oh, I wanna
yeah.
make this more
Mm.
progressive song. No, I like to write whatever comes to my mind. And then something I do, which I think it's a great advice that I got from a big producer in Brazil. And I used this for this song we just talked about, the Together We'll Dance. I used this to produce that song. I produced that song myself. I'm not a producer, but I like to try stuff. But
Hmm.
anyway, so the advice he gave me was like, you write your song, and then fine. And then, of course, we are always consuming music, right? So you are always listening to other artists, either famous or whatever. And then
Yeah,
eventually you may hear a song that you might identify with your song. So, for example, I heard, I don't know, the song called ABC from an artist, and I know, oh, this song, it's kind of reminds me of Together We'll Dance, which I just wrote. Okay. And I go
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay. And then what I do, I analyze the structure of the
Mm.
ABC song. So I pick a notepad really and I write, okay, in the intro, I have only acoustic and voice. Okay. Then on the verse, there is a small guitar riff. Then a piano comes in. In the end, blah, blah, blah. So I take note of that structure. Okay. I'm not saying we are copying anything about the song. The songs are completely different,
Yeah,
but there is
yeah.
a production structure there. Okay. So I
Mm.
try to, and then I try to implement that, not 100%, of course, because it may not work, but I try to bring that idea to my song. And then I pick my song and I go, okay, I will do the intro, acoustic and voice. Then I will create a riff or the blah, blah, blah. And then I go and I build it up like that because the song you can't, so something this producer told me, and I think it's the basics for production, is like we can't deliver everything in so if you do the song that sounds all the same till the end, there's nothing new coming up. So you need to
Mm.
bring more stuff, so the listener should be like expecting, oh, there's something new here, and it will keep his interested to listen to the song until the end, etc. So it's kind of the idea. We kind of course, elaborate more on that, but that's something that helped me a lot, and I try to use this in my music. Of course,
Yeah.
it won't replace a professional
Mm.
producer. I'm not saying that. Don't get me wrong, but like it's a way for you like to work home and try to improve your ideas. And because I mean, when you are hiring a producer, in the end of the day, you're doing this. You're picking the idea from
Mm.
someone else,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm picking the idea from someone else in a music that was produced by big producer for sure,
Brilliant.
and
Yeah,
and
great
just using
idea.
it.
Great idea. Well,
So
geez,
that's
that's
what I
great
do.
advice. Yeah, brilliant. Thanks so much.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. No,
yeah,
because definitely get the concept of what you're doing there. That's brilliant. Yeah, yeah. Great stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
because some
Yeah,
people now are so into AI, Sergio, where they type in different ways of, elaborating on chords and stuff like that. You might have an easy chord progression, say A, B, A, G, and C, or whatever the case may be.
yeah,
But
yeah,
you can
yeah.
ask, I know a lot of people now are going and saying, how could I make this song elaborate a bit more interesting,
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
something
Yeah,
you've ever
yeah.
used yourself, Sergio?
I think, for example, AI, it's a great tool for sure. I think it's a matter of what you want to do. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know some people that said that didn't play any instrument and they wanted to do an album and they did it with AI, 100%. Okay, it's their choice. Like it's fine. I My choice is to create the song, is to do
Definitely.
everything.
Yeah.
Of course, I use, for example, some sort of AI for grammar
Mm.
correction, for example, to make
Yeah,
sure I'm
yeah,
not,
yeah.
because English is not my native language,
Mm.
for example,
Of course, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
so for me it's handy, for that part. But I
Definitely.
but
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't write a song or progression using AI,
No,
like
no,
because it's
no.
just because for
Mm,
me it loses
mm.
the. I don't
Yeah.
do this for the money or for anything. Of course, it becomes a job and
Yeah.
it's fair to be paid. I'm not
Definitely.
saying
Yeah.
the opposite,
Yeah.
okay? But I do first for the music. I
Oh,
want
of
my music
course.
to
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
connect with you. So I want you to listen to my song. And if you feel like something good, or if you go, oh man, this makes me happy, or even
Mm.
brings me some
Yeah.
emotion, it's fine, like, so that's what I want. You to connect to my song, and you will want to listen to my song again. Oh, I wanted to listen to that song. Like I feel that sometimes about some songs, and that's amazing. That's what I'm trying to achieve. So for me, it's important for me to
Yeah.
to to
I love that
create
answer. Yeah. I love that
everything.
answer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
but it's a
Great.
choice. I don't judge.
Yeah.
Like I don't like to point and judge
Mm.
or whatever. Like I think we have our limitations. We have our strong something we are strong doing.
Mm.
Like I said, I think I do good with harmonies, for example. So I try
Great.
to
Yeah.
focus on that. Like if
Mm.
grammar is my weak, let's say, I will go and use a tool that will help me with that.
Mm.
It's fine.
Mm.
But I'm doing it. The idea,
Yeah.
it comes from me.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
how I
that's
see
great.
it.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Sergio. That's great because I agree 100%.
Thank
Like
you,
even
Mark.
for instance, if you're actually once it's your work, you're not doing copyright, but it's great to be able to a grammar tool. It's great. So thanks a lot for that. One quick point before I go, before we finish up. I know we collaborate before. That's how we met at the IMRO thing. How do you find collaborating with other artists, writing music yourself? How do you find that?
I like it. I like it. Well, we had that experience in the IMRO and was
Yeah.
amazing,
Yeah,
and
it's great. Yeah, yeah,
I do collaborate. I collaborate a lot. I mean,
yeah,
not a lot,
yeah.
but I wish I could collaborate more, but it's just because
Mm.
I don't have the time. But
Of
I do a lot
course,
of
yeah.
collaboration by playing. So
Hmm.
there are some songwriters that they can sing very well, but they don't play. Or so I try to jump in and play for them, and also add harmonies to their songs, which I like
Hmm.
to do, and I think it makes the difference as well. And also even collaborating with ideas. So we do that a lot in the band as well. Either they bring ideas to my music, and I try to bring ideas as well, and that's amazing. And also you should be. I think we all should be open-minded to
Definitely.
that kind
Yeah,
of feedback, and in a positive, in a constructive way, because of course music is art, it's subjective. What I like, you may not like, it's fine. And there are
mm.
some things you may say, no, I like, for example, you say, maybe you should change this part. No, this part is what I like the most in the song. I'm not touching
Yeah.
that. It's fine. And
Mm.
it's like it's good. It's always about keeping the respect. And the collaboration. I think it's very important because, like, I'm finding this. For example, I'm trying to record my album, and I'm doing everything so far except the drums that were recorded by my friend Rafael in Brazil.
Mm.
By the way, thanks to Rafael and to Luis as well, my friends there who helped me with the pre-production and all that stuff. And it's very hard because I'm recording the bass, I'm recording the guitars, the vocals and everything, and I'm
Mm.
trying to produce and everything, and it's a lot of work for one person.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you have someone to help, it's fantastic. It's much better, Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's great,
I,
Sergio. I really appreciate you coming on today and discussing all about your music, and looking forward to you sharing all your songs with people to check out as well. So,
I will. Yeah.
once again, I wish you all the success going forward with everything, with all your great songs and great music. And thanks again for coming on.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks to you. Same to you as well. It's been great collaborating with you and meeting
Yeah.
you on the gigs. All right, and then we will keep in touch. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you.
Cheers. Okay, so thanks everyone for checking out Mark's motivational podcast, Music Sunday, with Sergio Person. So make sure to check out all Sergio's music, and I'm going to share all his links on the show notes. So until next time, thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks, Sergio.
Thank you. Bye bye. That's it.
Hello, everyone. Mark here. Thank you for watching another episode of my Authors Tuesday podcast. I recently published a book of children's stories called The Adventures of Larry Lamppost and Friends. The book began life as bedtime stories I wrote for my own children. If you'd like to purchase my book, follow the link in the description box below. By buying my book, you are also supporting my podcast series for authors, which is giving a voice to writers in Ireland and across the world.